Y'all, new day, new set of verses. Digging in today through 14 through 18. Let's dig in. Is that grounds for complaining that God is unfair? Not so fast, please. God told Moses, I'm in charge of mercy. I'm in charge of compassion. Compassion doesn't originate in our bleeding hearts or moral sweat, but in God's mercy. The same point was made when God said to Pharaoh, I pick you as a bit player in this drama of my salvation power. All we're saying is that God has the first word, initiating the action in which we play our part, for better or worse. And as I was thinking about these verses, it kind of had me break into two ideas again. The first bit was the mercy not originating in our compassion, rather, not originating in our bleeding hearts or moral sweat. And it made me wonder for a bit, what if the people who God puts on our hearts are the ones we're supposed to be looking after? That we don't have to try and fix the entire world, we just have to go where we're told to do, which, the word seems to echo quite well, that he puts on our task before us. And it would even kind of follow down in that God initiates the word. God puts it in our heart. God will steer us in the direction. God will give us the tools. What we choose to do with is our own. And it makes me think back to the parable of the talents. And, short version for those who may not have heard it. Master gives one servant 10 talents, 1, 2, 1, 0. Person with 10 gets to work, doubles it, is rewarded greatly and given even more. The person with 2 talents, same kind of idea, rewarded even more. The person with the 1 talent buried it, hid it away, and didn't even bother getting what's the phrase, dividends on it. Didn't get any kind of income on it, basically. Sorry, the word's spacing for me. But the idea there that what we do with it, and I think that's why I like the word talent rather than just the using the measurement weight, because it can be more than just fiscal gift from the master, our master. It can be different gifts for people, for ways of doing things that we have that are gifts from God that we can choose to do with as our own. As let's just a random example. If you've got somebody with a gift of oratory, how they use that gift, or do they choose to use the gift? If somebody has put on their heart a people group and they're like, okay, really need to look after those people, but I'm just gonna, I'm doing the bare minimum kind of thing. It seems to me like that's the same kind of idea with the talents of the parable. And I know that to some it might be kind of an obvious thing, but I don't want familiarity to breed contentment, And I love the fact that in digging into Romans, Matthew can come out, and Mark as well, Luke. Really, that makes me smile a great deal, because it even harkens to the question of free will. And I love the fact that those kind of questions can be dug into. Because not only is this verse saying that yes, we have free will, that all that agency is on us. And it would mean that being in a relationship with God is both being completely involved and not involved at all. The part of you that wants to be completely involved and is completely involved is the part of you that comes from the part of us, the part of me, pick a phrase for it really, is the part of us that comes from God. The part of us that generally doesn't want to be involved with God is the part of us that isn't us, in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. It just strikes me as one of those paradoxical ideas that, the more we're into God, the more it's him doing and the less of us that is doing it. So even though we're intently making the choice to follow God, God has already made the choice to have us. And I will admit, the more I dig into it, when I get to the parts of the Gospels, I hear Jesus kind of asked the same question about the whole "did you choose us or we choose you" thing, and God saying that I choose you before the foundation of the universe. It strikes me as a beautiful answer and an understanding of a bit of a chicken and the egg joke. Because he's first. He existed before time and anything else, so obviously it's his choosing first. From there, it's the we choose to follow him, he's chosen us, we choose to follow him, he's chosen, and it just kind of becomes steps or pump actions in a bike that propels us forward and deeper into him. It almost, to me, strikes as a calling to dig in deeper with those questions. So, here is hoping that we can focus not on bleeding hearts, but on what God is breaking our heart for that breaks his. And then reach out to each other. Because God wants all of us. It's whether or not we choose him. No. I will see you guys tomorrow for verse 19, actually. See you then. God bless.